welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show, Express on SABC3 on this Wednesday morning, a morning where most South Africans are waking up a little bit more jittery than they would have been the previous day. This, of course, after the police's national crime statistics of the year 2014-2015 were released. And, of course, this made quite a big wave on social media, too.
Absolutely, man. I think the most, excuse me, the most used hashtag yesterday was hashtag crime stats. Yeah. South Africans, of course, reacting to the news that the overall crimes locally have increased in the past year. And this is according, like you said, the annual crime statistics that was released in Cape Town yesterday. So a journalist was actually live tweeting the stats during the media briefing, and South Africans jumped on the bandwagon and you know, just sharing their thoughts on the numbers, and they are still continuing actually using that hashtag crime stats this morning. Yeah.
That's right. And talking about sharing your thoughts, we asked you on social media, what are your thoughts on the figures that were released? And Andrew Kapung says, I think in those places where crime stats are really high, the police should put more effort there. Let's see. Sinetemba says, good morning, Expresso. We still have to improve. I believe as a nation we can decrease hashtag crime stats. Leslie McKay says, bring back the death penalty.
Wow. So
and then Rashida says, sounds scary. I could be killed at any time. It's a great concern. And Bradley says, police are trying to fight it, but it overpowers them, of course.
Yeah.
So,
wow. So very, very strong feelings. Please continue to share those with us on our social media. And, of course, joining us on the line this morning to shed more light on the latest statistics is Lieutenant General Solomon Makhale, the Head of Corporate Communication at the South African Police Services. Thank you very much for taking our call this morning.
Good morning.
Now,
thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you very, very much. Now, for the third year in a row, there's been an increase in the number of murders in South Africa. In fact, a 4.6% increase in the number of murders compared to the previous year. So if you line it up, it means that 48 people, more or less, are murdered every day in our country. So I guess the question is this a problem that the police themselves can resolve, or do we need some kind of social intervention? And if so, how do we even begin to solve this problem?
Yes. The biggest problem that we have in this country when we do analysis and murders is that they happen in a social context. In other words, it's while people are enjoying themselves, particularly over the long weekends and during the festive season. Just to give you an idea, if you take a province such as KwaZulu-Natal, on average, 11 people are murdered there. Over Christmas and New Year, on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, we saw more than 50 people killed on each of those 2 days. And it's while people are drinking, they are killed by those that are known to them. In most of the cases, it could be friends, could be acquaintances, it could be family members. And it's a serious concern because of the fact that there's a lot of violence in our country. And the other drivers are, you know, I'm sure you read about the taxi violence in this country, where people are armed with, you know, all sorts of weapons, and they kill each other for roots, they kill each other for, you know, it's how they deal with competition. Then you've got the Zamazamas who are mining illegally, which is a huge problem that is not easy to address. But what we said yesterday is that when we take all of these things into account, as the police, other government departments, the communities out there, we need to join hands and fight this thing. The police, if we think that the police alone are going to solve the problem, then we are completely mistaken. We need the assistance of the communities who know who are the people that are carrying illegal firearms.
Now, speaking of the police that you mentioned just now, another shocking statistic is the fact that a total of 686 police officers were arrested for various crimes during this reporting period. So obviously this speaks to a lot of corruption within the police services itself. So what is the police doing to combat this?
Well, you just answered the question there. We arrest the people that are involved in criminal activities, and we dismiss them from the police. If I look at the last 3 years, we've dismissed more than 1,500 police officers for being involved in various criminal activities. The major concern for us is involvement in corruption, because that is how people get away literally with murder. And we cannot afford to have a situation where our own people that under oath say that they will not involve themselves in corrupt acts, that they find themselves in this kind of situation. But management is very clear. You commit crime as a police officer, we change the blue uniform into the orange uniform.
As simple as that. Lieutenant General, thank you so much for taking our call this morning. We really do appreciate it. That's Lieutenant General Solomon Makhale, the Head of Corporate Communications of the South African Police Services, but I guess also a light at the end of the tunnel, knowing that there's been a decrease in sexual offences as much as there has been an increase in other areas of crime. But please do let us know what your thoughts are on this year's crime stats. Let us know on our Facebook page or tweet us using our hashtag Expresso Show.